Hey Flothemers, and welcome back. In the following video I am going to give you an overview of the typography section with Osaka. Now, updating fonts is a great way to really brand your website, and it's pretty simple to do so with the Osaka theme in the Flothemes settings area. So let's go into the Flothemes backend. So if you're in WordPress dashboard and you go to Flothemes, then typography, you'll have three sections here. In the first section we have generic typography. This is the typography options, and you can select the style for each of the items throughout the site. So you have options for your input fields, so that will be for your forms, the labels for those forms as well. So if you were on a contact page, it would be the label of the actual form itself, paragraph fonts, so the main paragraph throughout the site, the link font as well. So if there's a link throughout your text, it will also be styled like that. So again, to update those, you can choose any of the existing styles that are created from the font style section. You have fonts H1 through H6 as well, and of course a block quote also. Now you have one other really great option here. It is the tablet font size zoom factor, and we like to keep ours between 40 to 60%. Basically, it zooms in the font sizes on the tablet devices, making it larger. As standard, it uses font sizing from the mobile devices, and sometimes it may be a little too small. So it's a good idea to go and adjust this between 40 and 60%, test it out on a tablet device, make sure it's working for you, and that should make your fonts very easy to read. Now we also have the customized font style section. This is where you will want to update your styles, and you'll see we have three tabs: font styles, Google Fonts, and custom fonts. The font styles are the current styles for your theme. Google Fonts will be an area where you can add Google Fonts, and the custom fonts an area where you can upload custom fonts to your theme. So in the font styles area, you'll see that we have labeled each of the fonts here. So call to actions, and that's for anywhere that has buttons, for example. Call to action 2 as well. Another area where users will be clicking, H1 through H6. Then you have heading 1, 2, 3, labels as well. So these are all styles throughout the site, and you can update these as required. And you can use each of these styles in any block in the theme, and I'll show you that after. If you want to update any of these styles, all you have to do is go over to the pencil, click on it, and then choose the actual font that you have. So any fonts that you've currently got enabled on the site, you can choose. So if you choose one, you can see that it changes the preview over here. You can then choose the sizing, you can choose the mobile sizing, letter spacing if you want to space the letters, word spacing, and also line heights as well. You can also then set the font style if you would like it all caps, regular case, or all lowercase as well. So you have those options on a per font basis. This can be useful if you wanted all title fonts to be in caps, for example, and just all other other text items to be just lowercase. You also have the option to bold it, italicize it, or underline it, depending on the use. And of course, you can set the color for that font as well. So if you're choosing different font colors, for example, red, black, etc., you can choose that also. You'll also notice under the specific styling section, you have default, hover, and active. Hover is the state whenever someone hovers over a piece of text, normally used for anchor text, which is for links. So in the case where you're using a link font, you may want to set up a specific style just for the link. So maybe you make it bold, for example, when someone hovers over this text, you can do that as well. Again, it's not usually relevant for most of the font styles, but it may be useful for something like menus or links. You can also have an active style as well. This is useful for menus. Whenever someone clicks on a link, for example, if it's in the navigation menu and they were to go to contacts, then you could change the style of this contacts section, change the color maybe, so people know that they're on the contacts page by just looking at the menu, for example. So you again could enable the style and choose a different color option for that also, or a different styling completely. Once you're happy with the style, you can preview both on mobile and desktop, and then just hit the X here, and go ahead and hit update, and that saves the fonts and updates all the fonts that are using this specific style throughout the site. And again, you will see there are various fonts here, and we try to label them as well as possible for the site. The largest part of those will be here that are used for the generic typography section. And if you want to update the font on the site quickly and change the entire style, you can do so using this generic typography section. Just choose the styles here, and that will update the entire site look. Now, we also have Google fonts, so if you decide that you need additional font options, you can choose any Google font, and you just click the Add Google Font option, edit that, and then just search for the font that you want. Now, if you want to find out the Google fonts, you can find the Google fonts on the web, and you can, of course, then check through the different styles and find which ones that you like. And you can use any of the options over here to sort of filter those. Maybe you just wanted a serif, for example, and you can just choose the one you want. So, for example, maybe I wanted a Libre Baskerville as my font. You can search in here, and that will be the font option for that. So there you go, Libre Baskerville. That font will now be available inside the style settings area. So if I was to go in here, you'll see that Libre Baskerville is now available to be used as a style. Again, just adjust the font as required, and then you can start using it anywhere throughout the site. Same with custom fonts. If you have a font file in TTF or WAF format, all you have to do is add the font and then choose the font formats. So again, you can see that we've uploaded a couple here. Just drag and drop them in, select the fonts, and then once that's done, it will be added to this section. So just as a custom font. And again, that font will also be available to be used in any of the font style areas. Finally, you have the quick font setup option as well. And this is if you would like to update some of the six or seven main fonts throughout the site. Again, you can just choose the different font options here for that also to, of course, update the font styles on the site. Now, generally, I would recommend just updating the customized font styles and the generic typography options as they will make the most sense for most individuals. Now, if you wanted to use these fonts or even set up your own specific styles, you can, of course, do that as well by adding a font style, coming in here, adding it, labeling it as well. So custom font style, for example, choosing the font that you would like to use, setting up the sizing options, the line heights, for example, the word spacing, letter spacing, and then of course hit the exit, and that will be the font you can now use. So that font should then be available for you anywhere throughout the site. And then if you go to any page, I won't save this, but if you go to any pages, you'll see inside each of the blocks there are generally settings options for that specific block where you can apply those font styles, allowing you to obviously customize the look of your site. So if I went to the options section, you'll see that there's a title font option, and you can just choose any of the font styles to change the actual style of that font and how it looks. This doesn't change the HTML, so if you were to choose heading 2, for example, it does not mean it will become an H2 header via HTML. It will still remain as per the theme styling. It will only be for styling purposes only to update the styling for your site. So again, great way to really customize and allow you to modify the look of your site entirely. And as mentioned, the easiest way to do that is to set up the typography options and use the generic font styles to really update the site look overall really quickly. So that's it, folks. Go ahead, update the font styles if you need to for your brand and make your sites more customizable.